غنوة المسافر لما يكون بعيد يفتكرك في الغربة ويقرب البعيد. يا غنوة المسافر لما يكون بعيد يفتكرك في الغربة ويقرب البعيد. بنلف المواني وبنرجع لك تاني. تاخدينا بالحضن ودايما لابسة توب جديد. بصي يا أم الدنيا يا حبيبتي يا بلدي، قلبي وروحي وعقلي يا حياتي يا بلدي. أرض الخير يا بلدي ويا وطن الحبيب، بنحب اللي يحبك مهما يكون غريب. أرض الخير يا بلدي ويا وطن الحبيب، بنحب اللي يحبك مهما يكون غريب. يما القلب الطيب فيك الصبر الطيب، يما القلب الطيب فيك الصبر الطيب. ومهما ليلك يطول شمسك عمرها ما تغيب.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Dear students of secondary 2, welcome to you. And today we are going to host one of the best teachers in our school, عمرو بن العاص language school in Zifta. Mr. Isam, welcome to you. First of all, before we talk about our subject today, we want to know something about yourself.
I'm Assam Izhar. I'm a teacher of English. I graduated in 1993, Faculty of Education. I got my master's degree from Tanta University, and then the PhD is to be finished within few days, inshallah.
Inshallah. How long have you been teaching English?
About 27 years old.
It's a long experience,
Thank you.
and we wanted to benefit from your experience.
Thanks.
What are we going to talk about today?
Today we are to talk about the biography of the greatest playwright, Bernard Shaw, as far as we can.
Today we are going to talk about George Bernard Shaw.
Okay.
What you are going to tell us here? You can start.
Playwright George Bernard Shaw was born in Dublin, Ireland, July 1856. He was the third and the youngest child. Early on, Shaw explored the worlds of the arts, music, art, and literature under his mother's guidance and through the regular visits to the National Gallery of Ireland. In 1872, Shaw's mother left her husband and took Shaw's two sisters to London. And to become a writer, Shaw struggled financially. His mother essentially supported him, while he spent time in the British Museum reading room working on his first novels. Shaw's first plays were published in volumes titled The Plays Unpleasant. The plays were filled with Shaw's wit, accompanied by healthy doses of social criticism. Works such as Major Barbara 1905 and Doctor's Dilemma 1906 and St. John 1923 all published Shaw both as a frontline and popular dramatist of his day and as a writer deeply interested in the issues of his time.
That's right.
The year 1912 brought what might be Shaw's most famous play, Pygmalion. Shaw won the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1925. Pygmalion went on the film more when it became on the Broadway stage in 1956 and later on the screen in 1964. Literary writer to the end, Shaw died in 1950 at the age of 94 while working on yet another play. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Let me ask you some questions. First question is, do you think that his pastime affected him, and how?
Well, as far as I know, Bernard's early childhood had been affected greatly by so many social circumstances. But the major support that pushed him forward to pass over such obstacles was his mother.
So his time of birth as a writer, do you think that he witnessed many great writers?
really, he was lucky enough because he lived in an age full of great writers. However, the talent of Bernard Shaw enabled him to be the greatest one ever at this age.
Why did his mother give him Duke?
Well, I think that, and this is a message, by the way, and I thank you, especially for this question in particular, simply because it is the role of the mother to give or to shed an eye on all her sons. And once Bernard's mother noticed a little talent on the literary sense of her son Bernard, this is why she gave him a push forward towards that term.
So when his mother gave him Duke, wasn't because he was the only son and she had two daughters.
Yes, he was the third of three.
Number 3, how was he affected by the Greek mythology?
The mythology in Pygmalion, sculptor called Higgins fell in love with a statue of his own. He made it by himself. But in Pygmalion, which we said right now, the opposite happened. He didn't love Eliza at all. So,
But do you think that Eliza loved him?
yes, but
And did she expect him to marry her? Because he changed her life from a poor woman to
this is what she expected first, but it was a disaster for her life finally, simply because she found that he was not interested at all in woman's life.
So he was only interested in how to change a person from a poor society to a richer society.
This was a bet between him and the Colonel Pickering.
His friend.
Yes, so he made it as a kind of a challenge of being able to change just a poor girl from the poor class into a class one, an original one, a lady of society, a prestigious woman. So it was a miracle, and this is why Pickering said, I'm going to give you that bet once you are able to achieve it or fulfill such a bet.
And he
of course he
fulfilled
did.
it. And he fulfilled it.
Yes, of
He
course he
succeeded.
did. Yes.
So it gives me a chance to ask you, what message did he want to give us?
This is the core essence which Bernard Shaw wanted to shed light on, simply because he focused on so many things, but the most important one was what's called mobility from the poor class into the upper class. In one of us, he wants to say those who believe that they have all things, especially the rich people, are wrong, because man's ability to change from the poor class into the upper class is so easy once he is equipped with what's called prestige and education. And this is a message through which he wants us to say, once you are able to educate yourself in the best way possible, you have the ability to move from the poor class into the upper class.
I can say that it is not important where do you come from, but the most important thing is that what will you do?
Yes, this is a message too, okay, because in the English society in that time, Bernard Shaw wanted to say, you, the rich people, believe something that is totally wrong. You believe that you are in all. You believe that you are the only educated people, and that this is a wrong message. By the way, I myself can make a miracle, and he did, by giving the ability for Eliza to change from just a poor class into the upper class, and in the best way possible. No one could ever realize that this was just a poor girl. Okay, and this is thanks to education.
Let me ask another question. To what extent was Pygmalion a success?
Of course, 1912 was a great success in Bernard's life, simply because it achieved a great of success among the other plays written by Bernard Shaw, to the extent that it had been acted on the stage and the screen itself later on, 1964, as far as I remember.
Do you think that the Arabic literature benefited from it?
To some extent, but I can't say this is a clear cut.
I think that it is in a play called Sayyidat al-Jamila.
To some extent, yes. To some, but it's
He
not
took
really
the
the same.
same
Yes.
theme
Yes.
At the end of our conversation today, we send a thank you message to Mr. Assam. Thank you very much. You were with us. It's a great pleasure to host you again. Till we meet again, sir. Goodbye for you.
Thanks.
And goodbye for our students. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Thanks so much.